Hello, everyone. Today I will talk about linking audience physiology to choreography. We will present our interactive performance in collaboration with professional dance theater, Session House, to break the invisible wall between audience and performer. From a research perspective, we adopted physiological sensing as a way to explore the relationship between mind and body, invisible inner states, and visible cues. Sensing technologies have been applied in real performances and live events to create a connection between performer, audience, and even stage design. Also, physiological sensing can help researchers to understand live audience experience. Performance events could be reflected as physiological changes and psychophysiological engagement. In our work, we collected audience electrodermal activity and heart rate activity during dance performance, and this data can be used to trigger changes in staging elements. We also recorded audience data and analyzed afterwards to understand the audience experience better. Now, let's see a short video to know about our work directly. Sorry to interrupt, but due to the time limit, I won't play the full video, but you can search Boiling Mind on YouTube and find the full video. And I will talk more about our project from these three aspects. This is a graphical overview of our interdisciplinary collaboration process. The design process was centered around 5 main components shown in this graph. The red circles highlights the common goals between research side and dancer side, which are performances. To fulfill our goals, we held regular meetings, discussions, workshops, and test performances over the course of 3 years. During the iteration cycle, we held 2 formal performances where real audience attended. As an initial use case for this work, we created a trial dance performance. During this performance, we tracked the audience heart rate, eye blink, and pupil dilation, and tested the sensing technology by creating a performance lasting for 15 minutes. Building on this, we developed a full 70-minute dance performance in our final performance. There are 6 choreographic sections in the performance. We may notice in the first half of the performance, the choreography, dancers' movements, and stage design are more interactive with strong rhythms. Then, in the Romeo section, one audience member was invited to the stage to dance together. Well, after that, the girls' section became more quiet and meditative, trying to invoke audience reflection. The choreographic characteristics also reflect in the physiological data that we collected from the audience. And now let's see about the multi-modal sensing dataset. Specifically, we recorded electrodermal activity, blood volume pulse, wrist acceleration, and angular velocity. The analysis was conducted mainly on the EDA and BVP data. This is an example of one audience member's EDA data. We mainly focus on the drastic changes in EDA data and call it EDA extrema. Here is an example of one audience member's BVP data. We extracted 4 HRV features from BVP data and finally narrowed down to PN50 and LFHF ratio. We calculated average values and variance among the audience and mapped the trends to the choreography. X-axis is the timeline of the dance performance. Y-axis are the values of 4 features, which are PN50, LFHF ratio, EDA difference, and EDA extrema counts. Let's now focus on the bar chart and the blue line chart. The bar chart is the number of audience who experience the drastic EDA changes. This aggregated value could be interpreted as how many audience have similar aroused, excited, or anxious feelings within 1 minute. We can see when the music of Boyle reached the peaks, there are strong rhythms. Similarly, when dancers invited an audience member as Romeo to the stage, all the audience suddenly became anxious, wondering whether they would be invited or not. Then let's also see the blue line chart. Blue line chart shows the average and variance of PM50. PM50 is a heart rate variability feature that is closely related to the rest and digest. Higher PM50 could be interpreted as more relaxation, as I also mentioned when describing the choreography. After the Romeo back to the seat, the choreography changed from tension to relaxation, aiming to invoke the audience to reflect, meditate internally. We could see the blue line, which is the PM50 rise up at this time. Actually, there were 3 performances following this same choreography, while different audience attended. And we found this link between audience physiology and choreography occurs over these 3 performances. Besides analysis and findings from the dataset, we also collected subjective feedback from the audience and 5 dancers. Audience subjective feedback was collected from open-ended questions in online questionnaires. The audience mentioned the feelings of participation in the performance and the sense of unity. We also organized a semi-structured focus group for 5 dancers to learn more about their experience during this loop. Dancers mentioned while dancing, they focus most on the dance movement itself. However, when they are waiting for their turns, they seem to have more time to enjoy the visuals and found very exciting. There are some implications we summarize for researchers and artists. As implications for researchers, we explore the potential of physiological sensing in live and in the wild scenarios. Collaborations with other professionals in pre-designed live events may contribute a relatively controlled condition, and the mapping between the audience physiological trends and the choreography could provide a holistic view to understand live audience. For performance artists, we extracted features that might be used in future interactive performances. For example, PM50 in particular is a robust measure for visualizing a sustained change in engagement or a shift from tension to relaxation. Also, as suggested by the choreographer and the director, future focal points could be trying out different forms of interactions and creating an environment that could help enhance the audience comfort inside. Thank you for your listening. That's all for our presentation.